everyone, this is Waldorf,
This is Stetler.
and now we have Battle Report 251.
251.
So, Kingdom of Equitaine versus the Vermin...
SDKFC 251?
SD...
Anomak?
There you go.
Yeah.
The Kingdom of Equitaine versus the Vermin Swarm.
At Huzzah Hobbies.
You did make these comments when we went with like the 234, the 232.
You know, it's true.
Did that just slip your mind back then? Or
Well,
what?
I always think of those with
The
the...
170, whatever, the 171? Anyway.
I always think about it when, you get the extra number. Like, I don't... When you think that 251-1-10, slash... You always just think 251. I guess I should have done with the 250 also.
Just wonder what percentage know what we're talking about right now.
That's probably true.
Let's move on. Kingdom of Equitaine versus the Vermin Swarm. So this is a game I actually arranged because, more than just normal. Normally I just put out a message to the group, say, hey, let's, I'm looking for a game. But this I know a Vermin Swarm player, and I said, hey, I want to play my new army against Vermin Swarm and see what happens.
There you go.
Because, yeah. Equitaine and Vermin Swarm don't get along very well.
That's true.
So anyway, here's my list. List I've been using the last couple battle reports. You can pause and take a look if you'd like, but I'm not going to go over this every battle report unless something changes.
All right.
Moving on, we've got the opponent. He has a Vermin Demon as his general, Plague Patriarch, Adept of Cultism, Plague Veil, Putrid Protection, and a Plague Pendulum.
Yeah.
A lot of P's in that.
There is.
Plague, Putrid Protection, Plague Pendulum,
And you
Patriarch.
managed to mess a couple of them on the first sweep through.
Yes. Chief, BSB, Great Weapon, and the Scepter of Verminous Valor. 27 battle.
Oh, I'm shocked he'd take that item.
Yeah. 27. I've seen people who didn't.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They put the guy right up front. Anyway, I don't get that.
It's like, wow.
27 Plague Brotherhood, Musician and Standard. 20 Plague Brotherhood, since he doesn't have to answer challenges, why bother with a champ?
Yep.
But I would think there's the times when you want to issue the challenge and make the guy hit you.
Especially got something with a whole bunch of attacks coming in.
Correct. 20 Plague Brotherhood, 20 Vermin Guard with a standard, which is the Lightning Rod.
Yeah.
2 units of 10 foot pads, 3 units of Disciples.
Okay.
2 Dreadmills and 2 Plague Catapults. So your typical ugly vermin shooting, kill you, armor piercing, all over the place list.
Just a handful of toxic attacks.
Yeah. What, 30, these two, this thing. Yeah, not bad. And we're going to play we rolled it up, we're going to play Marching Columns and Breakthrough.
Okay.
And this is, as you can tell, a map pack, because you can, the fences give away the map packs.
Yes.
Water, hill, fence in the back, across the center kind of is.
You need to at least just lay down some fields just to lay them down.
This field counts, but these don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uncultivated fields.
Yeah, there you go. Forest, another field, or a field.
A field.
Impassable down the bottom left, and a ruin.
Okay.
I think somebody might have mismeasured on some of this because it just looks too lopsided to be a map pack. But anyway. So we started deploying. I dropped these 3 units. He had dropped, I think, these 3, because we both started deploying from this end down to from the left to the right.
Okay.
I dropped these 3. He had dropped these 3, and he wanted to go first, so he dropped the rest of his army.
Okay. Was that Vitamin Water a Vanguard or an ambush?
Impassable.
The...
Impassable. So you can see the two Dreadmills out here on the far right. So seeing where he deployed and where he put the catapults, I, pushed everything towards this side. This unit is the only one that I deployed after he deployed his catapults. It's only in range of one of the catapults.
Okay.
So I thought I was okay.
Well, that's
with
not the only unit. All those little guys down here.
Well, these had already been
Yeah,
placed.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, and sorry, this unit of archers and this unit of archers are both within range.
You'll be really broken up if he shoots at those.
Yeah. So, but anyway, you can see there's the deployment.
Okay.
And on the far right, you can't really see them, but there's a unit of Grail Knights out there, the second unit, the small unit out there. I need to find my other 6-man tray for them. Anyway, moving on. There we go. That. And Vanguard. And you can see I peel both the units of Yeoman, start heading back towards the other side.
Right.
Turn 1 goes the Vermin Swarm, and they just march forward. Except for this guy. For some reason, he's hanging back a bit.
Okay.
The demon.
He's facing backwards?
No, he's facing forward. He's just hanging back a bit. He's facing...
I'm looking at the arch, and that's how he's facing backwards.
Yeah, he faced him backwards because he was falling off the hill unless he faced backwards.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So he's facing forward, but the model is backwards at the moment. Good point. I remember him saying that now. So he's casting spells. Stars align he gets on this guy, so it's -1 to hit. Or, sorry. Then he casts Unerring Strike on my Grail Knights.
Something's just wrong with the Vermin Swarm having divination.
I kind of agree with you. So Unerring Strike goes off on my Grail Knights. He had a lot of dice. I decided to let that one go because I'm thinking average is 7. It wasn't the boosted version, so thinking average is 7. He does 3.5 wounds. I've got a rerollable 3-up armor.
Yep.
Not a big deal. Until he rolls his dice and gets 12 hits. And then 9 of them wounded. so much for the Grail Knights. They're gone. But panic checks were passed all around. The one catapult hit this unit, and I believe it was the catapult. Killed 2 of them.
On the second attempt?
No, actually, what happened here?
No, because now you got a lot less guys.
Yeah. Oh, the catapult hit him and killed... 2 of them, and then this guy moved up within 8. The Doom Wheels both moved up within 18 inches of each one within 18 of one of these units, and they both fired at him, and they both did 2 wounds.
Okay.
So this guy on the right killed 2 over here, and this guy on the left killed 2 here.
Okay.
So now these guys are down to 2, and they pass their check again.
Okay.
Stick around, and I can't remember what it was, but somebody shot off one of my yeomen. Must have been the other catapult that was out of range of most things. Since the Grail Knights got killed. Going to my turn. Since he's within 18 and I've got a rerollable 10, I'm going to try it.
I'm sorry, which knights are these?
These are the Knights Aspirant.
Okay.
The small units of 6. So he, like I said, it's a rerollable 10. I'll try it.
Yeah.
Moving on, and we make it. And the rest of the army comes up as you see. We've already fought the combat in this picture. Despite getting off the stone skin, he still kills 2 of me.
Yeah. You caused 2 wounds on him?
And I caused 2 wounds on him. I won by a charge, but
you stood.
He stood because he's within this guy's leadership, so he's only rolling on an 8.
Okay.
I also managed to get off Entwining Roots to reduce the aim on this one.
Okay.
Which is the -1 to hit from combat or shooting.
Right.
Unfortunately, that doesn't affect the this thing if it gets into combat.
Correct.
Because it's not a roll to hit.
Right.
It's a weird thing. It's at least the lightning part of it.
Yeah.
It's just
they're grinding attacks.
Well, it's got grinding, but then the electric discharge
Right.
specifically says this is not a roll to hit.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
It's always
it's an odd rule.
It's nice to have lots of attacks that ignore the basic mechanics when certain armies are designed to survive that way.
Yeah.
What'd your archer shoot at?
My archer have been shooting at these guys. These the plague monks or whatever. Plague
disciples. Have any luck? It looks like.
No, I think I killed 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is the only thing the problem is they're distracted. They're hard target.
Hard target. Yeah.
So I've got range and hard target, so I'm needing a mighty 5 to hit them and then 5s to wound them.
Yeah, they're resilience 4. I don't remember.
They are resilience 4.
Yeah.
So it's 5s and 5s. It's not easy to get through to these guys. And on the bright side, they're cheap.
Yeah.
So That's what we got. You can't see it, but the two knights that were here wheeled the long way around and headed back this way to get out of range of the catapults.
Right.
And start the idea. We're playing breakthrough, so the idea is they'll circle around and hopefully get
and end up there.
Hopefully break through.
Yeah.
And that. And yeah, see there. These guys are actually not there. They're casualties.
Oh, you just marked
That's why I marked them.
Okay, not that they were eliminated. Okay.
We're going back to the fights again. Okay, back to his turn. Back to his turn. So the Skaven, with no regard to property, just blow through this fence.
Are you guys like fighting at like sunset?
Yes.
I see like shadows of guys behind the
It
front
is.
rank.
The sun is very bright off to the right.
Yeah.
And you can see the shadows of these guys following behind them. You can see, but I said, the Skaven with no regard for personal property just knock down this fence and just go stumbling around through here.
Yeah.
The rest of them just denude this woods, defoliate the entire woods area. It's just Skaven. What do you expect? The other one, the combat this round, he finishes up and kills my last two knights.
Okay.
And his other one is right here behind.
Oh, it's off the shot.
It's off the shot. So it's going to go to my turn.
So his turn. He shot at you. What did he do?
He shot. This one fought me in combat, so he couldn't shoot it. The other one shot at me, but he had the -1 to hit.
Looks like you're missing a couple knights.
So he killed one knight out of this unit.
Okay, and the catapults.
Because I have to have two characters, and the catapults have ranged almost nothing. He shot at this unit
because of your cover and everything.
He shot it. Well, I mean, it's long range skirmish, so he needs sixes.
And then
they don't pay cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, catapults don't pay cover.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So he was needing sixes to hit both these units. So neither one did.
Yeah. Okay.
Even on the rerolls.
Yeah.
So happy about that.
Yeah, it's a nice roll for that weapon because even on the second shot, you do pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, it just reduces the pattern a little bit.
Yeah, just reduces the pattern because toxic techs keep their strength.
Correct. I missed a picture, so I kind of showed it on that one. The Peg Knights charged into the Doom Wheel and needed an 8 or a 9 to overrun to the second one, and killed it and slammed into the second one.
Oh, okay.
Rest of the Knights came forward, and I was worried. I was worried about not making the overrun.
Right.
And that's why I brought these guys up to make sure these guys got chaffed.
You wouldn't get hit by those, yeah.
So those guys could, because if I ended up stuck out here somewhere, they can make a long charge and hit me in the flank.
Okay. It looks like you were able to shoot off some of his guys too.
And yeah, the shooting was a little bit more effective this time. It took down
range.
about 4 or 5 more.
Yeah.
Well, and these guys were shooting them as well.
Yeah.
So just pouring shots into them, trying to pick them off.
Okay.
Which is, it's a lot of shooting for the little bit of effect.
Where's your general?
General's out right here in this unit.
On the left side.
He was on the left side in the combat. He's going to move down.
But now he's on the left side.
Left side
of your unit.
He's not currently in this picture. Apparently, he's already moved down. I think he's in the center.
Okay.
He moved down to get into contact.
Huh. Okay.
Because he has to be in contact.
Right.
And I did get stone skin off on this unit this time.
I see. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
What was he afraid of?
When I was casting the spell, he was still out here in the middle of the field.
No. What was he afraid of that he let stone skin go through?
He didn't want me to get summer growth off on that unit that's beat up.
Okay.
Was one of the things he didn't want going off, and I'm not sure what the other one he would have been worried about was. Anyway, so we've got that. And that's where we have it going into the turn. Right. So it's going to go into his turn.
The reason I ask is it looks like that Vermin Demon's got a shot at your flank.
No, the Vermin Demon's facing this way, remember?
Oh, okay.
He's on the wide
that's right.
base.
He's wide. Yes,
yeah, this was a mistake he made.
Yeah.
He was facing... I don't know what he was worried about on this side.
Right.
But it was just a mistake. He should have been more sideways with front facing out this way.
Yeah.
So there you have that. So that goes back to his turn. Those guys are going to charge the archers.
Get rid of them. Okay.
And Vermin Demus whips around, and you can see, some nice, tidy Equitaine guys have come and repaired their fence,
Yep.
while the rats continue to storm down into the corner.
Yep.
They really have no use in this combat other than, scoring. I mean, they can shoot up these guys and stuff, but they'll just get in the way.
The
Both
first
foot
guys
pads.
they're both foot beds.
They're both foot pad
okay.
units.
Then, yeah,
So
absolutely.
he's just dashing for the scoring.
Sure. I thought the back ones was the other guys.
Oh no, they're not scoring.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
So anyway, and then the big plague pendulum comes thundering,
Okay.
crashing through the woods. They have that, and you can see the next unit of plague disciples lines up.
Okay.
And what do we got? That. Oh, his magic kick kills off another one of the Knights Aspirant, so they're down to the champion.
But he passed.
But he passed his test one more time.
Okay.
And he's going to keep moving. And the Peg Knights smash the Dreadmill.
And
overrun.
Managed to get behind the hill mostly.
Correct. Which is fine. I mean, if he wants to fire this thing at me, he can. I'm not happy about it, but I've got the banner rolling, so I've got a 5-up save versus it. He needs 5s to wound me.
Yeah.
Actually, he needs 6s to wound me at the time because of the stone skin still on him. But anyway, we go to this fight, and okay.
It was that effective.
It was that effective. He smashed me. I ran.
Yeah.
He only killed like 3 or 4 of me though. He rolled really bad, but
Yeah, must have.
my turn with no one really I couldn't see this unit. Didn't have anyone to charge, so I split my unit. And the general hopped out. He can see from here. He can see both catapults in this thing, and the Peg Knights popped over here.
Is he within 12 of just the one or both?
The generals are within 12 of this one.
Okay.
So he cannot even be shot by this
Right.
one, but this one can still shoot at him.
Okay.
Both can still shoot at this.
Okay.
Over here, the other units of brigands just finds a nice little spot
Right.
here between everything where they can just squeeze in and not be charged by anything.
Yeah.
And there we go. There's these guys after they've overrun. You can see they've taken no casualties.
Right.
Of course. And there are my guys running. Actually, there's only 5 of them, so I guess he did five wounds to me. So they snuck in there. These guys, the other mounted yeomen come up where they can take some pot shots.
And you lost 2 along the way.
And at least they're kind of sitting around waiting for, back doing their duty as chaff.
And you let yours have bows.
I did give mine bows instead of hand weapons. I mean, throwing weapons. Throwing weapons I like, but bows, you've got the range. So
Yeah.
it's going back to his turn, and you can also see over here that lone knight heading around. He is within 12 of the damsel at this point too now. So if the Oaken Throne's up, I can start bringing that unit back. Back to his turn. He charges the brigands, and they have to run again.
Yep.
But that's going to be a failed charge for him. That's the only charge he makes that round.
Okay.
I mean, he declares that round. There you go. Again, now they're defending their building.
Yep.
These guys are looking at one guy, looking out each way, and the plague pendulum turns around to face the flank of these guys.
All right.
They're not really thrilled with that. And the plague disciples had to pursue, but they only rolled like a 2, so they didn't get very far. Over here, he marched both units up in front of my Peg Knight unit.
Okay.
He just put them in their face, and then on my following turn, activated the lightning rod because he hadn't used it at this point. So now I can't fly.
Okay, so you can only move 8 on the ground.
Correct. So he's kind of trying to pin me here in the corner.
Did he realize how fast your Pegasus were?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And the fact that they're light troops and everything else.
Okay.
I think that escaped him. It was a scary plan there for a minute. I was like, oh, I can't fly. What do you mean? Um,
Well, at least it doesn't last very long.
it's just one turn.
Yeah,
Now, it's no longer that stupid thing where it continues to go.
exactly.
There we go. And you can see all the spells he's gotten everywhere. His magic's doing wonders. Of course, these are the guiding lights.
Right.
He's putting those out.
It's just wrong. The army that's supposed to have bad leadership
Not only gets the
gets
best,
free leadership,
one of the best leadership.
from the ranks, and then you get the path that gives you a attribute that makes it even better.
I see no problem with this. What are you talking about? So there we have that. So based on what I'm seeing, I'm deciding whether I want to charge. I even put this template down. I was like, oh, look at that. I can see the flank. I can charge them in the flank. No, I can't fly. Anyway.
Yep.
So, and if the general's still in the unit,
You might do it.
I might try
I
this.
think you can kill that.
I might
many
try
guys.
the plague monks.
Yeah.
Because they've got no saves of any kind. I'm
Right.
hitting them easily. Anyway. But he did get, I think, scrying off to make a -1 to hit. But without the general in the unit, I don't know that they do it. So I decided not to. The general is going to go charge this catapult,
Okay.
which, you know,
Not the first one.
no, he's going to skip the first one and go to the second one.
Okay.
I was worried about going at the first one and just causing a problem for these guys. These guys, even without their march, they could make this without their march test, but they made their march test and walk around the corner.
Okay. You didn't charge with your Grail Knights.
No, they were too far. I mean,
Okay.
I can charge this unit, but
Yeah. Looked like it was a flank.
there was
That's
only
what I
2 of
wondering.
those at the time.
Yeah.
It would have been kind of, there's only 2 of these guys.
Mhm.
That's a long charge. And
Yeah.
it's the front because they're both facing forward.
Oh, well,
These
they
are
were.
not facing this way. They're both facing
Yeah,
forward.
no, I understand. It looked like it was a flank from
Oh, okay.
the other picture. So.
Okay. So anyway, we do that. We put in winding roots on this unit simply
Okay.
because I think that unit's getting ready to come in on something.
Right.
And it's something to cast a spell to get, because I cast 2 successful spells, as you can see.
Yeah. Yes.
And my Knight's Aspirant are back up to 3.
And you,
He's been shooting these and trying to go after these guys though, every turn.
Yeah.
I'm using my binding scrolls and everything else to try to keep them alive.
Right.
Because we are playing Breakthrough. And he's
Right.
got 2 in my deployment zone.
Yep.
And I currently have 1,
And one
2,
coming.
1, and 1, 2 close.
Yeah.
If I can keep that stuff alive. So the other thing that's worrying me is this is a scoring unit.
Mm-hmm.
So on this turn, I also deploy these guys, the brigands, so that no one can see them except this unit.
Right.
So this unit's going to have to.
So you're committing
even-
them to the greater good.
Yeah, even if it's a. He can kill me, but even if it's a rerollable, it's going to be a rerollable maximized 10. So he might even be forced to charge me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm just trying to pull him away from the deployment zone with this.
Right.
So we got that. And
Then why don't you face them at a different angle than the movement?
I got a plan.
Oh, okay.
There's a plan there. So we go into turn 5 because I also still wanted to shoot them at those guys out
Yeah.
there. I still wanted to shoot at these plague monks,
Okay.
disciples, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Plague disciples, censer bearers. Well, I don't know what they are. So it's going to his turn. First thing he does is he decides to charge me with this, so I willingly flee,
Okay.
which of course means he's got no one to redirect into, so he has to come forward.
Right.
And is up here the plague disciple, or again, I'm not drawing a complete blank on their names.
Mm-hmm.
They decide to charge, the censer bearers,
Censer bearers.
decide to charge into the night bus.
Okay.
And, it's a decent roll, but he makes it. These guys pivot around and start moving. There's those guys in.
Mm-hmm.
They do have this entwining roots on them to give them a -1 to hit, but that's only,
The regular attacks.
that doesn't apply to their, actually
Yeah.
it's minus, it's their offensive weapon skill is reduced by 2
Mm-hmm.
because it was up with the Oaken Throne. But again, it's not going to affect the
Mm-hmm.
other stuff.
So he caught your guys, it looks like.
So yes,
They're not there anymore. So.
He caught him and pivoted to face.
And these guys turned around and it was like they were able to march.
They came from this corner here.
Yeah.
They just walked over here. The this other unit of sensor bearers are up here on the corner of the hill, on the side of the hill, waiting because what his idea is. These two units, even if they get charged in the rear, will probably be steadfast for a round,
right?
Because they're within 18 of him.
Yeah.
And let these guys smash me in the rear if I try to, do the rear attack with these guys and combined with the front from the Grail Knights, the two Grail Knights. So he's just ready to deal with it. And then, of course, the Vermin Demon turns around and he's looking out this way as well.
Okay.
And there's the overall picture. So he comes in this fight.
Your turn. He
comes into this fight and he did 2 with the plague attacks.
Sensors.
Sensors. And then even with the -2 to his offensive skill, killed me 4 with his hand weapon. His combat attacks.
That's a great weapon. So yeah.
Whatever, but
yeah.
it was irritating. So it goes back to my turn. Bottom of my turn 5. Bottom of my turn 5. The Grail Knights that were out here spin around and come out into the middle of the field. So neither one of these can possibly charge them. The 2 units of yeomen come forward. And this unit is pinned, fighting those guys. And back here in the back corner.
And you didn't charge the other catapult?
I did not. He moved it. I had him just barely in sight, and he actually just moved it instead of firing it.
I see.
And got out of my arc.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't paying close enough attention, and he kind of snuck out of my arc.
Oh, okay.
So I decided to come down this way, which, if he keeps those guys out there in the open, I can go get them. Want to even try a long charge on the last turn.
Right.
But that's where I'm looking for there.
Okay.
So we're going to go to top of turn 6.
Okay.
Which is about right here. Where? Okay. Oh, this is also the rest of my turn. So the rest of my turn, I get off stone skin on this unit to make him so he needs 6s to wound me with both the toxic and the other ones.
Right.
You can see I've raised 1 back.
Yeah.
It's all he allowed me this turn. And now I guess we'll go to turn 6 sometime in here. Oh, and then I killed him.
You killed what?
The Plague Disciples.
Oh, okay.
The BSB's still in there, and he's at 5, strength 5, AP 3 attacks. And then between him and the unit, they killed the last 3.
Strength 3 on his horse.
What's that? Only strength 3 with his horse, correct. Because his horse is
Don't forget that horse attack.
Yeah, well, the horse is the same strength as the mage, by the way.
Everyone knows that horses are not very powerful animals.
Why would they be?
They're easy to kill, and they're only as strong as a person.
They don't look any more sturdy than a human.
Yeah.
There we go. So we're going to go into his turn 6. He charges into the plague catapult into the yeoman.
Okay.
Simply because there's nothing I'm going to counter him with that he's worried about.
Right.
The sensor bearers that were here elected not to charge me and just move forward out of my arc of this unit. And I think he's also may have been trying to bait the Grail Knights into their flank. I don't know. That's just from the positioning. That's what I'm guessing. And then, did that guy leave me alone? I guess he did. And then...
Was he not able to charge the knights? Were they at an arc?
He could have charged the knights.
Okay.
It would have been a long charge, but he was worried about my guy just butchering him.
Yeah.
Since he saw what he did to the last unit. And I'm still have the toughness on me at that time.
Okay.
So, and you can see this big vermin demon took his move to get up here on the hill.
Continues to walk around.
And get out of arc of the Peg Knights. He did leave these alone. Until later. What did he do? Oh, okay. Later on something happens. Okay.
Maybe they panicked off.
They did. So the pendulum, of course, crushes the remaining 4 yeomen, or however many that was, 3. The other unit panicked and ran all the way through to here.
Okay.
Surviving all their dangerous terrain checks, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Those are very agile horses.
Yeah.
I still got stone skin on me, so yeah. I don't know what that unit would have accomplished with that many. So the bottom of turn 6,
Death Blossom.
we blossom. So we do the make the march test on the unit, and then to make it even more maneuverable, both characters bail out.
Right.
It does a 90-degree turn and heads into the deployment zone. The Grail Knights.
I'm sorry, is this the bottom of the top?
Bottom of 6.
Oh, okay.
The Grail Knights do the 180 and into the deployment zone.
Yeah.
So I ended up with now 3 into his deployment zone.
Yep.
And that's where it's going to end. And these guys, of course, didn't bother moving them on turn 6 because nothing they could do would affect anything.
Okay.
Because on his turn, he did move out of my possible charge range, which is what he should have done.
Right.
So, anyway, because of that, it was like a 30-point difference to him. But I did get 3 units into his deployment zone, and he only got two into
So
mine.
just to show the point, you made a much larger font for Equitaine?
Yes. I had to make it line up right, was the problem.
Oh, sure.
Got nothing to do with being...
You just want to show off that you beat Vermin Swarm?
Got nothing better than being better than... Nothing to do with me being better than him.
Yeah.
So, back to mistakes. This turned out not to be... This turned out not to affect me, I should say. But turn 1, this unit should have taken their full, whatever, 10-inch march because of this unit. 10-inch march towards here to deal with something coming down here. To try to shoot up his scoring units. Because they weren't going to do a whole lot out here. So I think because I got lucky with this unit to get it all the way across into his deployment zone.
You did.
So I think they would have been better served coming over here and shooting at these guys.
But you also were able to use them as a chaff unit later, so...
They did turn into be chaff later, so actually maybe it's just as well. I don't know. But anyway, that's the first thing. Turn 2, I did a poor job lining this up. I could have shifted down more to the left. Because all I had to do was the second guy in. All I had to do was corner to corner the thing. And then I could have, had I done that, I would have been even a quarter-inch over would have put me on this hill.
Right.
Which would have given me a better line of sight this way. So just something I just need to be more careful with lining things up. And then again, here was the worst mistake. On this turn, remember they were all back here on the side of the hill.
Yep.
Instead of flying back here in the corner, I should have landed them here with partially, with the general still in them.
Yeah.
Partially on the hill, sitting here, overlooking all of this.
Yeah.
And then having the choice of where to go at that point.
They didn't basically do anything the end of the game.
They killed 2 Doom Wheels the whole game. And
One Doom Wheel.
What? They got both. Because they hit one, overran the second one.
Oh, Doom Wheels, I'm sorry. The second half of the game, that's what I was saying.
Between the Peg Knights and the General, we got 2 Doom
Wheels and 1 catapult.
2 Doom Wheels and a catapult, which is nowhere near what this unit should be achieving. And then turn 5, instead of moving out here, remember they're back here.
Right.
Instead of moving out here, they should have come up here.
Yeah.
Because then I've got plenty of choices on where to send them.
Right.
Because the next one is going to be bottom of 6, so whatever I do, he can't respond to.
Right.
So I could hit one of these units with the hope of breaking it. Anyway. So like I said, just positioning mistakes. If nothing else, I should have turned, knowing I wasn't going to be able to get to these guys, something should have turned around and got picked up that 170 points.
Should have got for him,
if nothing else.
Right.
But I think even better, parked out here just out of this guy's arc, sitting right in this area where they can target anything on the board would have been a much better choice.
Yep.
But anyway, those are mistakes that you make when you play this stupid game.
And you wanted him to, he didn't seem to have to worry too much about your general with his vermin demon.
No, he did not.
You didn't scare him around.
I did not.
He didn't use him aggressively.
I didn't keep it. Yes, it did. It did. The only thing I was kind of concerned with, and then I did the numbers, and the more I thought about the numbers, the more I kind of agree with him. I was worried that he was just going to push this vermin demon out into the face of this unit.
Right.
Especially after he got hit. They got one of these units of sensor bearers into him.
Yeah,
Because weakened, this unit can hardly do anything to him.
correct.
While it was a full unit, I don't think he wanted to
Yeah.
get charged. But
Yeah.
because even the numbers are he lives, but it's still a little too close for comfort if you're talking about a 1,000-point demon model.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I played. I actually came out okay, I thought,
Well, you pulled a victory. That's a big deal.
which is what I was hoping.
Yep.
But anyway, that's going to do it.
Till next time.
Thanks for listening.